Dear students, in the previous class, we have learnt about properties of acid and base. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about question answers related to properties of acid and base. Let's start. The first one, you have been provided with the three test tube. One of them contains distilled water and other two contains an acidic solution and basic solution respectively. If you are given only red litmus paper, how will you identify the contents of each test tube? So this is very simple question. Here three test tubes are given and each test tube consists different solution, that is either distilled water and basic solution and acidic solution, but we don't know, and only red litmus paper is provided. Okay, through that you must identify the solutions. So how can we do this? How can we identify? Yes, let's see the answer. We can identify the content in each of the test tube using red litmus paper. This can be done by noticing the color change of the red litmus paper. Okay, but we know that red litmus changes into blue only in a basic solution, right? In basic solution, red litmus paper changes into blue color, whereas in acidic solution, red litmus remains same, and in neutral solution the red litmus paper changes into purple color. Very simple. The next question, why should curd and sauce substance not to be kept in brass and copper vessels? Yes. So we know that curd and sour substance consist of acid. They contains acid, and brass and copper is nothing but metals, right? So what happens when metals reacts with acid? They give out salt and a hydrogen gas. Okay, let's see the answer. Curd and sour substance contains acid. Therefore, when they are kept in brass and copper vessel, the metal react with acid to liberate hydrogen gas and harmful products, thereby spoiling the food. This is important. The next one, which gas is usually liberated when an acid reacts with the metal? So what happens when metal reacts with acid? Hydrogen gas liberates, right? It comes out. How will you test for the presence of this gas? Okay, the first part, that is which gas liberated when acid reacts with metal, that is hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas liberates when acid and metal reacts each other. So the second part is how will you test for the presence of this gas? Okay, through the activity we can show the presence of hydrogen gas. Let us see. Take about 5 ml of dilute sulfuric acid in a test tube and add for some zinc granules for the test tube. Then shake the test tube so that what happens? The hydrogen gas liberates, and this liberated hydrogen gas is passed to the soap solution through delivery tube, and finally when you bring some burning candle near to the soap solution, it produces pop sound. Through this activity we can test the presence of hydrogen gas. The next one, metal compound A reacts with the HCl to produce effervescence. We don't know that metallic compound, in one metallic compound that reacts with HCl, it produces effervescence. Here effervescence is nothing but foam, gas. The gas evolved further, the gas again, one more gas evolves, and that is used as a fire extinguisher. So write a balanced chemical equation for the reaction, and one of the compound formed is calcium chloride. Okay, so metallic compound is a calcium carbonate. When this calcium carbonate reacts with acid, it produces hydrogen gas, that is nothing but foam. Along with that, carbon dioxide gas, this is used as a fire extinguisher to put off the fire, and along with that calcium chloride, that is given, is nothing but salt. Okay, and then you have to balance it, that you already learned, balancing chemical equation. Let's move on to the next question. Why do hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, etc. show acidic character in aqueous solution, while solution of compounds like alcohol and glucose do not show acidic character? This already we discussed in the previous class. The dissociation of hydrogen chloride or nitric acid to form hydrogens, it always occurs in the presence of water. So dissociation occurs only in the presence of water. And what happens when it dissolve in water? They form hydronium ion. It dissociates into two ions. But aqueous solution of glucose and alcohol contain hydrogen. These cannot dissociate in water to form hydrogen ion. Though there is a hydrogen in glucose and alcohol, but these do not dissociate into hydrogen ion. Hence, they do not show acidic character. The next question: why does an aqueous solution of an acid conduct electricity? What do you mean by aqueous solution? Aqueous solution is nothing but a solution in which solvent is water. Acids dissociates in aqueous solution to form ions, and these ions are responsible for conduction of electricity. For example, hydrogen chloride, when it dissolves in water, they splits into two ions, H plus ions and chlorine minus ion. So they are conducts the electricity. Next, why does dry HCl gas not change the color of the dry litmus paper? So in this case, acid is also dry, and litmus paper is also dry. So here dry HCl gas, as we know, it does not contain H plus ions. It is only in the aqueous solution that an acid dissociates to give ions. Since in this case neither HCl is in the aqueous form nor the litmus paper is wet, so the color of the litmus paper does not change. The next question: while diluting an acid, why is it recommended that the acid should be added to water and not water to the acid? Okay, so this we already discussed about this dilution. So here, how do we dilute acid? We can dilute acid by adding acid to water. Remember that when we dilute acid, we always adding acid to water. Suppose if we add water to acid, there is a large amount of heat liberates and it may explode. So let's see the answer. The process of dissolving an acid or base in water is highly exothermic reaction. So exothermic is nothing but the large amount of heat is liberated. The acid must always added slowly to water with constant stirring. If water is added to a concentrated acid, the heat generated may cause the mixture to splash out and cause burns. The gas container may also break due to excessive local heating. The next question: how is concentration of hydronium ion affected when a solution of an acid is diluted? So here, what happens when we dilute acid? When we add acid to water, what happens? Its a hydronium ion decreases. That means the strength of the acid decreases. It becomes weak. Okay, let's see the answer. When an acid is diluted, the concentration of hydrogen ion affected per unit volume decreases. This means that the strength of the acid decreases. 10th one: how is concentration of hydroxide affected when excess base is dissolved in a solution of sodium hydroxide? So already sodium hydroxide is base. Again we are adding base to sodium hydroxide. So what happens? Its hydroxide ion increases. The strength of the base increases. So when excess base is dissolved in solution of sodium hydroxide, the concentration of hydroxide ion would increases. And next question: a solution reacts with crushed eggshells to give gas that turns lime water milky. The solution contains dash. This is a multiple choice question. Here four options are given. Look at those four options: sodium chloride, hydrogen chloride, lithium chloride, potassium chloride. except hydrogen chloride, that is hydrochloric acid. Rest all the compounds are a salt, right? Huh. Now, crushed eggshells are nothing but calcium carbonate. Okay. So when it gives carbon dioxide gas, when the calcium carbonate reacts with acid, it gives carbon dioxide gas. And this carbon dioxide gas turns lime water milky. Lime water is colorless, calcium hydroxide solution. Now, when you pass carbon dioxide to calcium hydroxide, it changes into calcium carbonate, that we already discussed. So the next one, compounds such as alcohol and glucose also contain hydrogen but are categorized as acids. Describe an activity to prove it. Here you must prove that alcohol and glucose do not consist hydrogen through the activity. Let us see the activity. This picture tells about the activity. Take a solution of glucose and alcohol in the beaker, okay, in the beaker, and fix two nails on a cork here and place the cork in 100 ml beaker as shown in the figure. Place the nails to the two terminals of 6-volt battery through bulb and a switch. The simple circuit. Then switch on the current. You will see that bulb does not glow. Why the bulb is not glowing? There is no ionization takes place. That's what. From this activity, we conclude that glucose and alcohol contain hydrogen but are characterized as a acid. The next one, why does distilled water not conduct electricity whereas rainwater does? As we know, distilled water is nothing but neutral solution. But rainwater consists some impurities such as sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, that makes rainwater into acid. Understood? See, distilled water is a pure form of water and does not contain any ions. So it does not conduct electricity. Whereas rainwater, being an impure form of water, contains many ionic species. As I told you, sulfuric acid, then nitric acid. The rainwater consists all these acids. Hence, therefore, it conducts electricity. The next one, why do acid not show acidic behavior in the absence of water? Acids do not show acidic behavior in the absence of water because the dissociation of hydrogen ions from an acid occurs in the presence of water only. It is the hydrogen ions that are responsible for acidic behavior. So, in the absence, for example, gases, acids in gaseous form do not show the acidic behavior. The next is, equal lengths of magnesium ribbon are taken in the test tube A and B. Okay, magnesium ribbon are taken in two test tubes. In one test tube, HCl is added. Another test tube consists acetic acid. So, in which test tube will the fizzing occurs more vigorously and why? So, compare HCl and acetic acid. So, which is strong acid? HCl acid, right? Yes, the fizzing will occur strongly in test tube A, in which HCl is added. This is because HCl is stronger than acetic acid and therefore produces hydrogen gas at faster speed, due to which fizzing occurs. The last question, what is neutralization reaction? So neutralization is nothing but combination of acid and base to form salt and water. Two examples are sodium hydroxide base and acid HCl react with each other, gives sodium chloride and water. The next is nitric acid react with the sodium hydroxide, gives sodium nitrate and water. It involves H plus hydronium ion and OH hydroxide ions to generate water, that is H2O. So we will finish this lesson, today's class. Thank you.